What's up? This is Chosen, and we've got another update video because we've got some fun tournaments coming that have special challenge rules, which I'm personally a fan of because it gives us something else to try and something else to do in the game. So I'm going to walk you through what you need to know about these tournaments and cover everything going on in the game, grade the offers for you that are going on today. We've seen some crazy offers in the last couple days, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, you see this Champion Chase tournament that starts in 15 hours, 14 minutes at the time of me recording this. It'll be different by the time you watch this, but the Champion Chase tournament starts in clock is typically a countdown to when the 2x event or the 10x event or whatever it coincides with is going to start. So do not be pulling your void shards yet. We're going to have a 2x void event this weekend that I've already done a dedicated video on, but this countdown above the Champion Chase tournament is going to be a functioning as a countdown for the start of that. And then on the 2x voids coming up, one quick tip, you're probably going to want to, this is something that people sometimes forget. If you're going to be pulling 25, 30, 50, some people pull even more void shards, you probably want to get a few level 30 champions ready, maybe even a couple level 40 champions. That way you're not sitting here with your champion roster full where you're having to crunch rares and stuff. You want to do your food efficiently, so plan accordingly. Get a few level 30s and maybe even a couple level 40s depending on how many you're pulling, just to prepare for the influx of champions that you're going to be getting to your roster. But then diving into the tournaments that are going to be happening, okay, so we've got an Ice Golem tournament with special rules, and it's going to be send high elves to raid artifacts from the Ice Golem's peak. Okay, so I think they got that right. The Ice Golem is kind of a tough dungeon, and it can hit super hard where you might need revive. So I think they got it right in letting those people that have finished the missions use their Arbiter, and the people who haven't are going to have access to arguably the best rare in the game, which is Apothecary, as long as they've been lucky enough to summon him. But he's a cheaper option in terms of being a really good champion. And then they have two of the best utility epics in the game at Royal Guard and Thanasil. Then they also have, Royal Guard and Tyrell. I was already thinking of my next point. Thanasil can actually be pretty decent as well, but with lots of the shielding and the decreased duration of buffs, can help on wave 2 of the Ice Golem. But I think a really good team in here, if you're asking like the team that I would use for the Ice Golem, probably gonna be, you have to be careful with the detonations of Eleanoril. So I don't know if I would try to, that's like in a faction lock situation, that's a lot tougher to get to work out. There's not a lot of great poisoners here in the high elves, if any. So honestly, I would probably leave Eleanoril alone and not try to do that combustibility. I think it's called combust. Yeah. But I'm probably like Arbiter, Lysandra, Royal Guard, Tyrell. I don't know. I'll have to play around with a few different comps. Because I'm gonna want the revivers, especially if you're using Royal Guard, you're gonna need the Arbiter. Yeah, I'll probably just go like a hyper speed team and do something like that and try to make that work. You can even use Apothecary's very end game viable if you don't have Lysandra or Arbiter or whatever. Then you just have to play a little bit more defensively and not deal with the reflect damage on wave 2, so it doesn't crunch you and you lose your whole team, especially if you're using damage. You're just gonna be careful about that. So yeah, me personally, I'll be using something like Arbiter, Lysandra, Royal Guard, Tyrell, and then the last spot will be a flex spot where I can bring in like a Vergis or an Apothecary or some sort of other damage dealer, Yannicka. Yeah, so there's a few different options I'll have to play around with in terms of finding a composition, but I think they picked the right faction to dive into this Ice Golem event, so should be fun to see how that kind of shakes out. And then we've got a tournament that we have never really seen before, at least not from what I remember, and that is a classic arena takedown tournament with special challenge rules. They don't say what they are in game, but we are being told behind the scenes that it's going to be faction locked. So it's basically going to be like Faction Wars, where you can do whichever faction you want, but you have to pick 4 champions from that faction, and all the champions you use for the battle need to be the same faction in order to get points. So I think that's cool. If they make the rewards worth it, they've got to get the rewards right, otherwise it's not worth it for people to really invest in either 6-starring champions, ascending champions, booking champions. Swapping around gear takes, I mean, you guys know how much silver it takes to swap around gear or take new gear to level 16 to compete in this thing. So they've got to get the rewards right. But if they do, I think it has potential to be fun. Something fun for players to dive into. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm all for new mechanics. The game is approaching, or I think it just hit 2 years old. So we need new things to do. I know some of you are newer players out there, but once a game hits that 2-year mark, you need to start providing new things into the game, which is why you see the Doom Tower and the Forge, and we start to see the introduction of new mechanics to the game kind of ramping up, because it's hitting that stage where you've got to keep players interested, and things like this will do it as long as they get the rewards right. So fingers crossed, and let's hope they make the rewards worth it on the right, and then also the rewards up at the top worth it for competing, and hopefully they make it worth it not just for number 1. Like a lot of times you see the 6-star Relentless and the shards and stuff, but there's like 100 people in a group. Like, make it worth it for the top 10. Like let's have a real tournament and provide some incentive for players to dive in, because I think this has potential to be a pathway in the game that provides lots of like life for the game. Things like this, competing in the arena with certain mechanics, shifting metas, and giving players something to theory craft about and discuss as a community. So I like it if they pull it off correctly. And in terms of what I'm thinking just off the top of what I will use to compete in the classic arena, I think I will build 2 different teams. I think I will build a non-speed absorb defense team, and I'm lucky enough to have the 4 legendary dwarves, and them by themselves make a great team. You've got Mountain King, high HP with shield set, provides lots of absorption for the entire team. Molly's there for CC and revive. Tournament is there for CC and control, and well, I guess CC is crowd control, but yeah, Tournament is just so suppressive on the battlefield, brings the aura that I'm gonna want, and then also allows me to get freezes off, so it makes it a lot easier to go second and not have to do the speed meta. And then Trunda there to make sure things die. You could also go with Gawa long grades as your damage dealer to make sure things die. So that'll be my defense absorb team, where I don't need to go faster than my opponent. But then I'll also use a speed team because I've got Arbiter and Lysandra. And then I'll probably go Tyrell for the defense break. And then I'll use Basilius here to do the AoE. And then whatever he doesn't kill, hopefully gets stunned. So I'll probably go, like, I don't have Ethos. If I had Ethos, I would use him for sure. Yannicka can also be used as well, so I'll play around with that. Shirmani's good, but a little bit more CC and not as much nuke. On a speed team, I'm going to want some more damage. So I'll probably go like Arbiter, Lysandra, Tyrell, and Basilius or something. I'll try that out first. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'll just kind of be prepared to start there with those 2 teams, and then mix and match things as I go along and see how the tournament is kind of shaking out. And don't forget, in terms of events, you want to make sure and take note that there is a champion training event going on basically at the same time that the 2x Voids goes live, which coincides with me telling you to get a couple level 30, level 40 champions ready to rock. If you're going to be pulling shards, it'll help you out so you can be a little bit more efficient with your points there. We've got a big Dungeon Divers going on, but you've still got a while on there. You know, a few days here, like 3.5 days. Artifact Enhancement event, pay attention to that. You've got 2 days left on that. But now let's go ahead and go over the offers here. See if there's anything coming down that is worth buying. We had a crazy offer yesterday with like 45 energy refills, and I guess I didn't buy it because I've been being careful about my budget to make sure I can go after some void shards. But it was technically a good offer. I think it graded out as like a 3.1. Offers that grade out as a 3 on my sheet are pretty rare. So if you bought that one, it wasn't a bad choice, but unfortunate that the arena tokens, the tag team arena tokens were on a timer there of 24 hours. So I heard that happened, and that does stink. I'm sure that was a bug. There's no way they would put those. They always put in the packs. The tokens have 99 days, so that's unfortunate that happened. But okay, we've got this is a pretty common book offer they've been sending out, I think. Well, no, this is different. It's usually the 10 legendaries. This one's not as good then. This one's gonna be definitely a pass, I think. I'll plug it in just to be sure so we can see the score, but I think this is gonna be 1.46. This is not worth $50 in my opinion, so that's an easy skip. This one is out there for the artifact enhancement event. Let's see how it grades out here. Gems, 1250, 1500 energy. And delete those. Oof. Is that right? Oh, I missed a 0 on the... Okay, I was going to say, there's no way that's right. There we go, 1.83. That's about right. So it's going to be a pass for me. Anytime you can see a purchase limit of 5, it's typically not going to be a very good offer. So that is a pass on that one. Monthly pack is good. We've plugged that in. I think it was a 2.67 if you're curious about the monthly pack. 6 stars speed. In terms of gear offers, this is probably the best you're ever gonna see, but it's not worth it unless you are a high spender that is wanting to really compete in platinum. So for 99% of you, this is gonna be a pass, but full disclosure, it is the best. It is one of the best gear offers you're ever gonna see. Daily pack. Okay, this one's worth plugging in here. We've got 25 energy refills and 3750, so 2.28, and worth taking note, it is over the course of 3 days. Some people prefer it that way because it gives you a nice kind of consistent flux of energy. So 2.28 on that. I would say of the offers I see here right now, excluding the monthly pack because that's kind of a monthly thing, yeah, this one's definitely the best. The other one's the gear one, not worth it for most of you at all. It doesn't make sense for most of you. And then this one was really bad. This one was a 1.82. It was all right, but definitely this is the one that I would recommend because it comes in at a 2.28 and it's energy progression for your account. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Just wanted to grade that really quick and go over some of these new tournaments and events that are gonna be coming down the pipe here. I need to head on over to stream. If you're watching this video right when I released it, I'm gonna be heading straight on over to stream. Gonna be a busy day, but a fun day. So that's kind of the in-game wrap-up of what is coming in Raid and what is going on right now in the game. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.